Today's video will cover how to use the new dribble engine in NBA 2K25. You'll learn how to trigger some of the basic left stick pro play moves and how to have more control over left stick animations, how to speed boost, how to stop quickly, and lastly, how to create combos. I'm JerseyMe93 and this is the NBA 2K25 dribbling guide. First thing I'm going to cover is speed boosting. A lot of people aren't launching out of their animations correctly, and it's important to know just how to use different type of launch animations in 2K because the new dribble engine is going to really dictate how fast you move. Let's look at some of the ways we can get ourselves to the basket. The first option is the old way of launching ourselves towards the rim, which is holding turbo and moving the left stick towards the basket or towards the hand that doesn't have the basketball in it after a crossover, size up, or escape. These animations are still useful, but they're not going to be the fastest way to launch for most players. Now, the second option we have is right stick launches. These animations are smoother and quicker than the old ways, and when you get a step on the defender, they can even activate a secondary burst of speed while driving towards the rim as you see here. To trigger these launches, simply flick the right stick up but towards the right or left. After doing a size up or escape, you have to be doing a move to activate these launches. So if you're trying to launch like the old way, don't use the left stick. Try to use the right stick this year. This should be your primary way of launching out a right stick move. Now for me, I have seen some of the quickest launches with this method, and that is the left stick launches. These animations require that you use something like a switchback or anything with a lot of left to right movement. You have to have your timing together because if you mistime it, you will walk out of these animations. But you are going to get some of your quickest launches by using the left stick by itself. You also have the added benefit of being able to activate turbo as you're already driving towards the rim. So this is definitely something that I like to use, but it's difficult for me to tell you the angle that you need to move the left stick in because it's going to be based off of the dribble animation that you're setting it up with. Generally speaking, if you are trying to discover where your quick left stick launches are, you want to look at where your slower animations are. So think of your hezzies, think of kind of your retreats, think of your walking animations, and then use the left stick to get to the rim. If you are pressing the left stick towards the basket and towards the opposite hand, obviously you're going to get quicker launches, but if you set that up with a walk first, you will typically get a nice burst of speed because when you are using slower movements, you have to build up that speed quickly. I hope that makes sense. I know it sounds a little complicated, but just again, go into the practice gym and experiment with your slow animations and you will discover your quick left stick launches. And also, I gotta mention, we still have the behind the back launches, which is done by simply flicking the right stick towards the opposite hand and then double tapping the right stick towards the back and towards the left or towards the right to do a behind the back launch. And I cannot forget this, to do spin launches, simply rotate the right stick in a clockwise or counterclockwise manner towards the opposite hand and you'll get a cross spin or just a regular spin from a standstill dribble. I wanted to include these two animations because I know a lot of people are struggling with the tight defense in NBA 2K25, getting a lot of bumps, but the problem is they're using the regular launches instead of the behind the back or the spin launch because these animations are meant to counter tight defense. If somebody's guarding you too close, you want to use your spin or your behind the back launch after setting it up with a size up or an escape. You will get around them. Now let's finally move into the left stick dribble moves and how we can master the dribble engine. Alright, the first thing is how hard you press the left stick will determine the animation you'll trigger. Here's an example of quickly flicking the left stick, and here's an example of me gently pressing the left stick. It's the same dribble move, but the difference in speed changes the animation. This is important to know so you can start manipulating the basketball later on. Developing a rhythm will allow you to access more advanced combos as you get more familiar with pro play animations. Outside of speed, your stance will also determine which animation you'll trigger, and you can access different stances in 3 ways. By returning to the neutral position, which is basically doing nothing and allowing your player to reset, pressing the left stick in any direction, or starting a right stick signature size up. Using the right stick to set up left stick animations is the most efficient way to start your left stick combos because a lot of contextual animations, if you're being guarded closely by a defender, will trigger because the system prioritizes protecting the basketball just like real life basketball players do. So you'll either have to create separation or use some of the contextual animations if you're not going to use the right stick size ups. Okay, let's finally talk about these left stick animations. So the first one I want to start off with is the left stick signature size ups. These are done by simply moving the left stick to your opposite hand by pressing the left stick gently. You don't want to press too hard because again, you're going to move around the court, and these animations keep you in the same place, but they unlock a lot of your quicker launches as well as some hezzy hangs and different animations that we'll be using later on for combos. So you got to get this down, and you also got to learn how to do these moves with rhythm. So don't just try to do one move at a time. Try to do consecutive between the legs or front crosses as you're seeing here. So I really want to break down this play with Jason Tatum because I think this is a perfect example of just the subtle improvements and how it makes a big difference with NBA 2K25's gameplay. So as you see right here, Jason Tatum is going to use his signature size up, but then I'm going to blend that with his left stick front cross. This is not really a super complicated combo, but the part that's really difficult to defend is the fact that I'm able to now launch out of that left stick combo with his left stick hang. Now, if I had just turboed out of that, if I had just did the old way of playing 2K, I wouldn't be able to get that type of angle or to put that pressure on the defender, because in old 2Ks, you could really only do a double crossover if you stayed in a straight line. So this is one of the real big benefits to the new dribble engine. So we are going to talk about launching towards the rim with the left stick, so you can do some of the hezzy hangs and all those things, but I do want to talk about this move first, which is the momentum stop. The momentum stop is one of the best moves in the game. There is a lot of benefits to using this move. The main thing is obviously you're still going to be able to shoot the basketball because you're slowing down and you're squaring yourself up to the rim. And the other benefit is that you can change your speed and your direction towards the rim pretty well. This animation contains some of your most explosive speed boosts towards the rim if you time it correctly. Timing is one of the biggest factors to getting a proper speed boost in 2K, and this animation gives you a much bigger window to do that because a lot of these animations are going to have hesitations and, you know, kind of these hang dribbles that you can use to explode out of them. This animation again is really good for the pick and roll. Even if you are just trying to shift the defender a little bit, you can use this to attack them quickly because you again are maintaining that explosive first step. So to do this, all you have to do is turbo and launch at a wide angle and then let go of the left stick as well as turbo, and you will do a momentum stop. I also want to add, I think I showed this earlier in this video, the Trae Young behind the back stop. That is a turbo tap. It's similar to momentum stops. Momentum stops, you're moving with the basketball for a longer period of time. To do this, all you have to do is let go of turbo and the left stick. You have to time it well because you can get different animations. And also I want to add that everybody does not have the Trae Young behind the back stops, so it's going to look different for different players. So don't expect to do the Trae Young stop with everybody. Now let's look at quick stops. Quick stops can be done by pulling the left stick down and towards the opposite hand. You can do it behind the back, between the legs, and a cross body stop. All are based on the angle of the left stick when you pull back. All of these animations will unlock a new set of moves to combo from, but the main purpose of these moves is to allow you to quickly stop your momentum and square up to the rim and shoot the basketball. All right, so we're not done talking about stops. We're going to talk about now the left stick snatchbacks. These animations will help you change directions if you see a defender is about to cut you off, so you could drive around them, and of course you can shoot from these animations. To do a snatchback, drive towards the rim directly or laterally, and as you begin to launch, pull the left stick down. These are really quick, so be prepared to set up another dribble move if you are going to use the left stick or go into your shot. Also, cannot forget these. There are new right stick pullback animations. If you have used this move in the past, you already know these right stick pullbacks are done basically the same. You got to start a drive towards the rim, and then you have to flick the right stick down. These animations aren't as quick, but they create a lot of separation. And again, there's a lot of new pro play animations this year, so they're going to go great with comboing for your dribble moves. And also, I cannot forget this before we move on from stops, is that you can use stops to set up your left stick size ups. And if you do it correctly, if you do it with the correct time and rhythm, you will get these really quick one motion animations where you can go in the opposite direction. So the stops in 2K25 are just really deadly this year. You got to really lab and practice so you can get the feel for them as well as how to set up or to go into other animations. Now we are going to get into the more advanced stuff. Now this isn't advanced as in the real complicated stuff, but this is just something that once you are really familiar with kind of the rhythm, the timing, and just being able to unlock your left stick animations at will, now we can start looking at launching. Now we did talk about launching earlier in this video, but that was more so focusing on speed. This section is going to cover launching for dribbling and continuing your combos. So the first thing we got to look at is just launching with the left stick in general, and then we can move on to more specific launches like the hezi and in between the leg launches. Left stick launches are important to master because you can't do some of the more advanced left stick combos without them. If you move the left stick up and to the right and left, you'll trigger the between the legs crossover launch. Pressing the left stick towards the rim will unlock a crossover launch, but when you start holding the left stick towards the same hand after a size up or crossover, you'll unlock hezi launches. Hezi launches can unlock additional size ups, but can also trigger a left stick in and out. You can also trigger hezi tweens and hezi behind the back dribbles. These animations can unlock new size up combos. Alright, so I wanted to come back in here and just re-edit the commentary over these two animations because the left stick behind the back is a little tricky to do. You have to start with a hesitation. Some animations or some dribble styles, you could just do it by flicking or moving the left stick towards the opposite hand. That's going to replace the right to left crossover. A lot of people do. It's not super complex. You still have the top left corner to see my controller if you still are struggling. Now this other animation, the in and out, this is a little bit more tricky if you're struggling with the timing. All you have to do is watch as he's trying to push the basketball towards his opposite hand, which would be the right in this case, and then you want to push the left stick back towards the left. So this is going to allow you to do an in and out smoothly. There's other ways and faster animations or faster in and out animations you can trigger, but I felt like this was a really good example for a lot of people to just kind of get a basis for the in and out left stick move that's in NBA 2K25. Now that's pressing and holding the left stick, but if you gently move the left stick in the same directions described earlier, you could trigger signature walk-up dribbles like this Tatum in and out. Timing again is the biggest factor, so these animations have to be done one after the other to trigger speed boost or to extend the combo. Now I also want to break down this hesitation move. All you have to do is start a crossover and start a hesitation by keeping the left stick held or tapping it towards the hand that the basketball is in, and then you want to press turbo. You are going to get probably the quickest speed boost in the game if you use this correctly. Again, like I said, walks and hesitations will give you the quickest speed boost in 2K25. So I hope that you guys are enjoying the video so far. A lot of work and effort went into this video. So if you guys can please drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already, as well as comment the number 4 so it lets me know who's watching. Now, I got a lot more advanced tutorials planned for NBA 2K25. If you really want to support the channel, you can become a channel member and get access to those exclusive videos. All right, now let's get back into the video. Okay, let's finally start talking about comboing. Now we're going to start off with something pretty simple right here with this hesitation with Halliburton against Cade. All it is just a left stick left to right, and then we're going to use a hesitation. Once we see Cade bites on the hezi by shifting with us, we're going to go opposite. And this play is also just a really nice example of how when you master the left stick dribbling, you can use it to change your speed, because as you see right here, I get a nice leap to the right with Jason Tatum, and that forces Keegan to shift, and then I'm going to be able to beat him off the dribble. He's a really good defender, so obviously you can't always expect a super clean drive, but this is just kind of one of the benefits of learning the left stick dribbling and not depending on just right stick animations. So me personally, I like to blend my dribble animations, and the other skillful sim dribblers like E-Money and Kev Cruz use the same style. I'll cover more of the principles of blending in a follow-up video, but for now let's look at this combo with Anthony Edwards. The best way to play NBA 2K25 is to mix your right stick and left stick animations and to take what the defense gives you. This Anthony Edwards combo will use his switchback and his signature pullback animation. Okay, I gotta mention this video didn't feature online footage because my build isn't ready. When I did go online, I got nothing but off-ball users anyways, and I could only use a team once until I played 5 games, so this was locking me out of being able to use the combos I learned offline with specific players for days, and I just didn't have time for that. But the next video with dribbling will be online only footage, so don't worry about that. So this combo with Anthony Edwards was my week 1 combo. I didn't have the left stick system figured out yet, so I felt more comfortable trying to find right stick moves to blend together. If you are not comfortable with the left stick animations yet, it's perfectly fine to use the right stick dribbling moves until you are. Now this combo will start off with Ant's inside out switchback, flicking left to right if the basketball is in his right hand, and then use his hezi escape, but go into a left stick snatch dribble and then go into his breakdown. These animations have to be done with the correct timing for it to be blended well. If your timing is off, you'll get hitches or the combo won't stay in motion, which will make it much easier to defend. Now, when you have the combo down, all you have to do is read the defender and take what the defense gives you. So here's how that can look.
If he's anywhere near our shooters, that means it's time to move the ball. So they'll have to play keep away.
If you guys are struggling with making some of these shot creator moves, don't worry, I will have an online guide dropping next. So basically all we have to do when we learn our combos is just read the defender. My eyes are locked onto Bradley Beal. I'm not really looking at Anthony Edwards. I already know what Anthony Edwards is doing. I see that Bradley Beal is about to cut me off, and as you see, right as he's about to make contact, I'm going to use his momentum against him, and I'm going to go and rise up with that snatchback jumper.
Edwards against Beal. Shot clock at 5. Looking to end his cold spell. And it's
guys to pay attention to Bradley Beal here. He's going to be biting on pretty much every dribble move that I do because he's not in position. As you see, he's doing a lot of shifting around. When you see a defender do that, this applies to offline, online, and real life. They're pretty much going to get crossed, and you can beat them off the dribble pretty easily because they're going to bite on one move pretty bad. And as you saw right there, that's what happened, and I'm able to get to the lane and get a layup.
Teams like the Timberwolves showing that size still matters.
Yeah, in this pace and space era, that may have come into question just a bit, but size and skill combined has always been your best.
Now, I do like this play a little bit more because you get to see how there is a benefit even to slow launches. I know a lot of people just want to get to the rim as quickly as possible, but sometimes, you know, using these slower animations set up a big counter like you just saw right there with this spin jumper. I already know he's already kind of beating me to that spot, and instead of just continuing to drive towards him, I'm going to go into the spin jumper, and that's going to be an open shot. Now, you do not have to do long combo sequences like that. You can do something a little bit shorter like this combo that I'm going to show you here with Anthony Edwards. As you see right here, you can start off with a front crossover to get into your inside out dribble. You don't have to, but again, this is week 1. I didn't know any better. And then we're going to finish the combo off with his go-to shot. Now, so in slow motion, you're going to see again the front crossover, and then we're going to use it inside out to look like we're driving, and then we're going to use his pullback, his right stick pullback animation, and then we're going to go into his aggressive breakdown. Once he's in his aggressive breakdown, you don't necessarily have to do anything, but at this point where he kind of does his push off and he's retreating, I'm going to go into his go-to shot, and that's when he does the series of tweens and front crosses and then eventual step back. So that's a perfect example of blending because those are multiple animations, but if they're done correctly with the proper timing, they look like one animation. That was actually just like 3 or 4 animations, but you have to time it correctly. So for me, I know that on my channel I always preach creativity. If you want to dribble, you can do the style that you want. You don't have to follow exactly what I do, but if you are trying to learn how to combo, always practice different ways you could get out of a combo, different ways you can react to different situations. You kind of have to imagine that you're not going to always play out the full sequence, so you have to practice those type of situations and shots. So as you saw right there, we can absolutely escape out of that combo earlier. So please practice those Anthony Edwards combos. They will help you develop a bag. And if you would like a full video on using Anthony Edwards and other stars like I did with Joel Embiid last year, let me know below in the comment section. Now, I want to share some left stick combos, and this section is going to assume you've practiced enough and you're somewhat familiar with controlling the left stick. If you cannot do these combos immediately, it's okay. It takes practice, and also please try to use the same exact player that I'm using because that's going to be easier for you to access those combos, as a lot of these combinations may differ based off of dribble style. Now let's look at this play with Jason Tatum. All right, so again, I spoke about it earlier in the video about really learning the hezzies, but as you see right here, between the legs to the hesitation launch, and then we're going to go into our snatchback and then an immediate left stick pull towards the left. That will give us that double tween launch, and then we're going to go into his body, and before he can completely cut us off, we're going to go into a Euro step. So one of the things that could really help you chain together the left stick animations is to start thinking about left stick moves as having windows like your jump shot. If you have a very early or late and you have a perfect timing, you could chain together different animations. So this next animation, I've shown this so many times in this video, but this does require some dexterity, and this is simply starting a tween hezzy, and then you go into a snatch back. You have to be pretty quick, and I want to include this in this video because I really want you guys to see how quick your left stick inputs have to be so that you can get these smooth combos. So again, these animations aren't necessarily super complex to do on the left stick. The thing that's going to be difficult is just making sure that you have the timing down. That was basically the same combination. I just drove a little bit more and then did a pullback, and then I went into my shot. But this combination is going to be a little bit tricky. All you want to do to get the stutter is once you start a hesitation, you kind of want to flick the left stick back towards the hand. Again, just think of it as another in and out, and then you want to go into a behind the back move. It's super fast, it's super smooth. For this next combo, you could try this little step out. All you need to do is to start a combo and then hold the left stick as if you're doing another hesitation as the first dribble or the previous dribble completes. So this is another animation or combo, excuse me, that is again going to require some timing for it to be smooth. You can do this, but it's going to be pretty hitchy if you mistime it. So if you ever want to test out your timing, try this one out. Now you're going to start off by going into your behind the back, and then you want to transition into your hezzies, and then you want to go into your first between the legs, excuse me. Once you're in your first between the legs, quickly swing the left stick towards your opposite hand and hold the left stick out, and then you're going to be able to go and launch out of those animations pretty smoothly. Now again, this is not an animation that, you know, does require a lot of precision with the left stick, I will say, but you can mess this up if your timing is off. So if you want to test your timing, out of all the combos I've shown you, I would test this one out if you want to see if you're getting better. So as we talked about learning how to launch and unlocking different animations, this is a prime example. We want to do a hezzy tween launch, and then we want to cancel that out by pulling back on the left stick, and we will get this smooth combo. All right, so this is going to be our last combo for the video, and this is probably one of my favorites because this really shows off the benefits of mixing the different pressures of the left stick. So we're going to go into our slow standing walking size ups, and then we're going to quickly move the left stick to our off hands and back, and then we're going to allow that animation to kind of play out. It's a little hezzy that he does right there, and then we're going to go into a tween escape. It's a really complex move. If you're really struggling with the left stick, I would not advise you to try this combo first. You to try to do some of the simpler ones that I've shown in this video, and then work your way up. Again, there's still a lot to discover about the left stick, but this is pretty much the system. Everything you need to know to create and find moves I have shared with you guys in this video. So I hope that you could again leave a like, subscribe, and comment to let me know what has helped you a lot, or if you just have an additional question that I may not have covered in this video, so that I might give you an answer to help you. So I'm JerseyMade93. Please make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel as well as follow me on TikTok, and that's it. Peace. Also, one last thing, if you are trying to master moves, practice slowly. You don't want to try to do so many moves that you cannot come back and like figure out what move led to the move that you're trying to get to. Practice slowly. You'll learn the tempo. Take your time and be patient with yourself. The game just came out a few weeks ago. You'll get better. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and make sure that you look at the top left corner for any move that you are struggling with. I'm out for the last time. Peace.